Hi everyone, my name is Simon.
And my name is Lucas.
My name is Pedro Pires.
My name is João Pedro.
And my name is Tiago.
And today we will make a little interview about our teacher Gustavo Lima. So, first of all, teacher, could you introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Gustavo. I'm a teacher in CEFET-MG for almost 6 years now, and I teach physics here in CEFET-MG, and well, I studied at UFMG. I had a master's degree also by UFMG, and I have a PhD degree also by UFMG.
Okay, so you said that you lesson physics, right?
Yes.
You always want to be a physics teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Since I was, I guess, 17, 18 years old, I thought about making physics. I always liked physics since I was very young. Astronomy. So I was very interested in astronomy since I was maybe 7, 8 years old. And after that, I always liked to read about astronomy and to read about particle physics. That's another thing that I like very much. And when I was in CEFET, I decided that physics that I would be a physicist. So before doing physics at UFMG, I started mechatronic engineering in Cookie. But I studied there only for 6 months, and then I realized that physics was what I really wanted to know.
So, teacher, what do you think about being a teacher in CEFET?
Well, yes, it's a nice place to be a teacher. I think CEFET, the students that are in CEFET usually are a little better than students elsewhere. So I think that's when you have better students, it's better to give classes, and the classes are better. We can speak about other things that usually I would not speak.
So you mentioned that the students in CEFET are better than the usual. But do you think that CEFET is a hard place for the students, a toxic place?
Always. Also, it's harder.
And how do you think that it could be better? Could be improve it?
More healthy
For the students, right?
I guess the great problem here is the amount of work, but of subjects you have. Yes. I don't know how many subjects you have right now, but I guess it's more than 10.
More than
15?
Yeah, maybe. It's a great
and that's not gonna get better. I guess the second year you have more, maybe the third year you have less. But the problem is that you don't have any time to study. Almost don't have time to study.
Consider with your online.
Yes.
Have you ever Have you ever lived in a foreign country?
Yes. I lived in the United States for almost 1 year, and I was finishing my PhD. It was 2007, 2008. And after I finished my PhD, I moved to France for 1 year.
France?
From 2011 until 2012.
What city in France did you live? City.
It's called Grenoble. Grenoble. It's near I don't know if you know Lyon. It's very near Lyon. It's very near the border with Switzerland. Also.
Did you visit the other countries around France in that time?
Well, I went, when I was there, I went to Germany. I had some friends living in Germany, so I spent some time in Germany, holidays. And I went to Spain, I also went to Italy and to Poland.
How long were you traveling to Europe?
I went to Switzerland also. So these travels are not very long. Usually 1 week at each place, or maybe even less. I was just visiting some friends or visiting my parents. My parents went to Europe to visit me and to know some other countries.
So, teacher, I think we all here notice that you have a very good English.
Thank you.
Did you think that you learned talk in English in these other countries, or you just improved it?
Okay. What helped me very much to learn English was video game.
Yes, me too.
So I study English. I study English since I was, I guess, 11, 12 years old. But most of my English, the English I learned, was from playing games. So when I was your age, for example, I started to play computer games. By that time, the games, there were no translation. So if I wanted to understand what was happening in the games, I had to learn English. To understand how to play the game, I had to learn English. And then I started to read books in English. I like to play RPG games, very much table games. And 20 years ago, all those manuals were in English. So I had to, if I want to play RPGs, I had to take a book like this, and then I had to read, and I learned a lot doing that.
Have you ever been to an actual English school to master English?
No, when I started English, I guess I was in the 5th grade. I guess 11. I was 11. Then I did English course. But yeah, I did. When I was very young, I did. But until I was 14, 15, then I stopped all the English. After that, all the English was to study alone or to learn by game, reading.
So you said that a time ago, you said that you based on your cards by the game. So are you playing any game right now?
No, unfortunately. No, not table games, RPG table. No, it's been a long time since I played.
You just don't have time. You have to make this.
No,
exercise.
but I'm playing in the computer. I'm playing The Witcher 3.
So, talking about, you said that you learned English reading, playing games. So nowadays, you improve your English. How do you improve your English? Well, seeing some movie, watching series.
I usually watch movies, but usually I watch with subscripts, because usually I'm not watching alone. I have my wife. When I watch more, I watch with her. But when I'm playing games, I guess most of what's happening in the games in English, I guess I can. It helps to improve your English. Read. I read a lot in English too, so it helps me a lot to improve. So if you keep doing things in English, like playing games in English, like reading books in English, your English will keep improving. So it's just a matter of don't stop doing these things.
Coming back a little in the conversation about your experience in the foreign countries. What were the strangest costumes that you have saw? That is.
Let me think. I'll tell you.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not remembering what we call anything right now. Let's see.
Today you talk about the podcast with me and so do you play any instrument?
No, I don't.
No.
But I like to see people play.
So would you like to play any instrument?
Well, I would like to play an instrument, but these days I don't have much time to learn, unfortunately. But if I were to choose one, I guess I would play or guitar or bass.
Nice choice. A nice choice.
Is there any specific music style you like?
Yes, heavy metal.
So, can I ask a question to him? So, teacher, early on the conversation, you talked a little about your family. I know that you have 2 daughters, right? How do you think that's going to be their professional career? Something like physics, like you?
I have no idea. They are too young already.
How old are they?
They are too young yet. Okay, they are. My oldest is 5, it's almost 5, and my youngest is 3. So they have a long time until they choose their career. I have no idea of what they will.
Let's be honest, it's the best age. It's the best age.
Yes.
Nothing to.
Talking about your family, the relationship with your father and with your mother, it's good. You still have contact with them.
Yes, they live almost like next door. We live, it's not even 1 kilometer distance.
It's very near.
Yeah. Almost every weekend I went to their houses and to spend some time. So it's
One more question about your family. Do you have any brother or any sister?
yeah, I have 2 sisters. One is occupational therapist. My middle sister is an occupational therapist, and my youngest sister she works in the Italy consulate.
You are the middle.
No, I'm the
oldest.
the oldest. I'm the oldest.
Where did you born?
Huh?
You born in Hillary or Belo Horizonte?
I was born in Belo Horizonte.
Yeah.
So your childhood was all in Belo Horizonte, or you moved for a different city for a time?
Well, I almost always lived in Belo Horizonte. Then I spent some time, as I told you, in the United States, some time in France. But beyond that, I never lived elsewhere. In Brazil.
Yes, Belo Horizonte.
So talking about your childhood, you were from the early 70s.
No, early 70s, no. Late 70s.
Late 70s. Sorry. So what did you did for playing, like
Well, by the time,
your
well, I grew up mostly in the 80s. By the 80s, there were no video games, and I played a lot with friends on the street. I went to my friend's house, I played there. They went to my house.
you had
played.
access to the internet? Like,
No, in the 80s there were no internet.
Ah.
So, yes. Until I was, my first computer I get when I was, yes, 12 or 13. was in 1991, I guess.
Very long time.
Yes,
since.
yes. But before that, all I did was to play on the streets with my friends.
Soccer.
Sometimes, but I'm not a big fan of soccer. But,
What
when I was young, I played with my friends on the street. It was
What are your favorite sports?
swimming.
Swimming.
Yes.
I make swimming too.
I love swimming.
When I was young, I did swimming a long time.
I swam for a long time too, but since I started to work in CEFET, I stopped. So sometimes I even dream that I'm swimming.
Sometimes I dream that I'm drowning, so.
I have to swim again. I have to find a place to swim.
Travel to beach.
Yeah, but I want to swim like in a very long pool. Yeah, it's like an Olympic pool or a semi-Olympic pool. It's hard to find one of those. So
So you say that you have a PhD in physics. So what is a PhD about?
well, it was about astrophysics, and in my PhD I studied how stars are born. So there's a kind of star that's called the T-Tauri star. It's a star like our sun, and I study how stars like our sun are born.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah,
It's really interesting. But way different, right?
Well, if you like, nothing is difficult if you like. You have to do a lot of effort to do those things, but if you like something, you do that. You have difficulties, but you can surpass your difficulties if you like it. It becomes easier. So I guess you can learn whatever you want, even if you think it's difficult. If you want to learn that thing, everybody can learn it.
Like computer science.
Like computer science, like physics, yeah, mathematics.
Something hard. So,
Hmm?
for you. Does anyone have anything to accomplishment? No?
Do you have any plans for your future, like
let's
to
talk
work
about
in
the future.
CEFET or
Well, I'm not thinking about too much about that right now, but probably I'll keep here. I'll be here in CEFET for some time yet. I don't think about leaving CEFET for now, so I guess my life for the next years will be here. I'm not thinking about anything else different.
Teacher, I will make a question. So, how you see you in the next? How do you see you in the next 20 years?
I have no idea.
That's a good question.
I have no idea. Well, but one thing that I think is,
First of all, with hair.
yes. I don't want to be a bald guy, but I don't think I'll be bald.
Right.
I have too much hair.
We know.
But the only thing I think is that while my kids are growing, I have to be in a place that can give a good education for them. So for now, my option is to stay in Belo Horizonte until they finish school.
You think that your kids gonna try CEFET in the next years?
I have no idea.
You're gonna incentivate that?
Maybe. If I think that they have, they like exact sciences, probably I will incentive that. But I have no idea what to become of them. So I have to wait for at
Let's
least
just wait.
maybe 8-9 years until I. Yeah, exactly. So for now, the only thing I think is for my kids to grow in a good place and have a good education.
So, talking about that, I want to ask you a question about how can I say, your work as a teacher. Have you ever regretted of passing a student?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very specific question.
But yes, there are times when I did that and I did regret afterwards. But it was very rare when that happened.
And the opposite.
Huh?
Have you ever regretted of the opposite, of the reproving a student? No.
Well, I think that when I reprove someone, it's because not the person deserves to be reproved, but the person needs to learn more. So I guess it's very hard to reprove everyone, but when the person is reproved, it's because she needs to learn more.
It's like a second chance.
Second chance. Probably when I do that, I know that if she went to the next grade, for example the second grade, she probably will not be able to absorb the subject. It's more difficult in the second year. So if she doesn't know, the person doesn't know very well the subject of the first year, probably she will not be so good. In the second, she'll have a lot of problems. And it's better to repeat and to learn what you didn't, and to go ahead and see that you learned anything. You didn't learn anything.
So you said that you need to learn more if you reprove, yeah? So talking about your subject, that is physics, right? I think overall, most of the students think that is the most difficult subject. Why do you think that?
Well, the problem with physics, I think physics is just beautiful, the most beautiful thing in the universe.
I really like it.
But physics, the greatest problem in physics is that not mathematics, but is when you try to use mathematics to describe something in the real world. So most people that have difficulty in mathematics will have a great problem understanding, trying to use mathematics to describe the world.
So you think that physics is mathematics with a more logical way to think?
Yeah, it's when you pick mathematics and apply it to the real world, that's physics. So physics, mathematics is the language that nature speaks. Physics is the way we have to understand that language. So if you want to learn physics, we have to understand mathematics, because that's the dictionary that we use to understand nature. And you have to be very good at mathematics, because we use it all the time. So I guess the greatest difficulty you have is that until you start your CEFET or the medium school, high school. Until you reach high school, you see science and mathematics like two different things. One thing has nothing to do with the other, and suddenly you put those things together, and it's hard initially to understand how one thing, how they are joined together, how they talk together, and that's the difficult, I think. But after you get that meaning that mathematics and physics walk together, and one thing doesn't live without the other, and if you are good at mathematics, you'll be good at physics. So I guess the greatest difficulty is that.
Talking about the past, you do you have a best day, the best day of your life?
Well, probably when my kids were born. It was very.
Which one of them?
It was different, but they were very.
Can you describe the feeling? It's like
It's different. It's just.
too much happiness that you can't even say.
Yeah, it's strange, but it was I was very happy when I had. I was expecting them. When you see them for the first time, it was just amazing. It's different because it's someone that will always have to be, that will always rely on you. You have to be very responsible to take care of them. Takes a lot of hard work to make them grow properly, but when I arrive at home and see them smiling at me, that makes my day.
You talk about your best day. Can you talk about the other side, the worst day of your life?
I guess I forgot. I don't even remember.
It was so bad that you forgot.
Probably.
I think it's better to remember. I think
I
it's
don't
better forget than remember.
Worst day of my life. I don't remember. From everyone's life, a lot of bad things happen. So
But you mean that you had a good life.
yeah, I don't think I had so many difficult moments like that I would remember that and it would make traumatize me to the point that I would recall it forever. I don't know.
Like when you were in the high school, have you suffered for some subject or no?
Sociology.
Yeah. I know.
Well, when I was in CEFET, my greatest difficulty was in sociology in the third year. But today I love Adriana is very awesome. I love to talk with her. She makes sociology a very good subject. I like when I love to hear her talking about sociology. It's different. When I was in school, I didn't like it, but today I think it's very interesting.
So you change your mind. And
Yes, we are changing our minds all the time. When I was in CEFET, I was a totally different person. So I guess I'm growing up for the better. So it happens all the time, everywhere. It's good to change your mind sometimes.
You talk about talking with the other teacher. Our relationship with everyone here. Have something you like, you don't like, or
No, I like everybody, and we have a good relationship. Well, sometimes you have some discussion with someone, but it's not serious.
Overall, it's a happy place.
Yes, it's a very good place to be. Otherwise, I guess I wouldn't be here. I would already. This place wasn't that good. Probably I would have gone to Campus Zoom in Belo Horizonte already.
You had your proposal. They proposed you to go.
No, I have no. But usually you can ask to go if you don't like, if you are not having problems with you, you can go to another campus. So it's not usually a problem.
You already to go there.
No. I already think about that sometimes, but I'm not thinking about that. But I guess here, when I see the view here,
It's very good. This new view.
yeah, this is a very quiet place. It's a very quiet place. The people that work here are very good, very nice. The students here are very nice too. So I don't have any reason to move. So I guess for now, stay here.
Teacher, I don't know if you answered this question yet, but when you started work at CEFET, you started work at CEFET Campus Contagem?
Yes.
Yes.
It was not here, right? It was in another place. I think you know about that.
Praças.
Yes, it was in.
So, you always studied physics, right?
Yes.
But what was your first job? Was being a teacher?
Yes, here.
Yes.
Yes. Well, before that, I was studying for my master's degree. Then I work as a PhD, doing some research as a PhD. Before you get your PhD degree, you have to work a lot on some research. So it's not I have been working with physics since I was maybe 20 years old. But a real job, I don't think you can.
Yes.
Yeah, but since 2014, I've been here teaching. So before that, I worked as a student, as a PhD student. Before that, as a master's student. Before that, as a graduate, undergrad student. But always, since I was 20, I was working in physics.
It's a very straight line.
Yes, yes.
Your
You have those kind of fellowships here. The Big Junior, we have a fellowship called Big Junior. It's about scientific initiation. In the graduation in the university, you have a similar fellowship. That's scientific initiation fellowship too. So we started with one of those fellowships.
I don't know if you asked that question before, but
If you had to choose another job, what will be your choice?
Another job?
What would be your choice?
Do you mean another area beyond physics, other than physics, or another job?
Another job, just not teacher.
Okay. Well, when I started physics, I studied not to be a teacher. I studied to be a researcher, to do some research. And I'd like to go back to research, but I guess I can do that here in CEFET. So for now, I don't have any other plan to be something like a teacher.
I don't remember the question. Sorry. Did you study in CEFET?
Yes.
In what course?
I did electronics.
Electronics is campus.
A long time ago, 1992.
So, have you met someone in CEFET that you still talk to today, like a good friend?
No, unfortunately, I lost contact with most of my friends from CEFET. I have a very good friend that studied in CEFET by the same time I did, but he was in another class. But we did electronics, we did physics together. Today he lives in Ouro Branco. He's a physics professor at the University of São João del Rei. And we still talk. It's a very good friend of mine. But he was not even in my class. He was in another class. But yeah, he talks.
So, moving back to what you said before, you said that you can still do your researches here at CEFET. Is that something related to CEFAT?
No. Right now I'm not. Yeah, right now I'm not doing any kind of research. I'm advising some picture student, but I'm not working with research here in CEFET right now. I'll probably start to do that again next year. I have to think about that. No, yeah, probably it will be linked to the Jedi, but it will be something. I'm not sure exactly what I'm. It's an idea right now, but I have to put that on.
A personal question. If you could be a teacher in the 3 years of CEFET, would you choose that?
Whoa. No, I didn't understand. How so?
If you could teach yourself, you would be a student, and Gustavo.
No. If you could be our teacher for the 3 years we will stay in CEFET,
Okay.
would you choose that or not?
Well, I have some experience already with that. There are some classes that I teach for 3 years. Well, it's not a question about liking the people in the class or not, but I think that it's important for you to be taught by another professor, another teacher. Okay? Probably I'm not the best teacher around here. Some people might think that I'm a good teacher, some people might not understand what I'm talking about, and it's very important that for those people that seems to not understand me,
Have the chance
to have the chance to be taught by another teacher. So I don't think it's not good for you to be taught by the same person for the 2 years. And after that, when that happens in the 3rd year, you're not even being able to look at my face anymore. You'll be so tired of me, and actually I'll be so tired of you that it will become it's strange. Yeah, it's not good.
But I think that for the people that likes the physics subject, it's more easier to do that. You look at the face.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding, okay, but
I like
you start getting tired of the way the person teaches, and the professor, the teacher gets tired of the
Makes
class.
like a routine.
Yes. It's, you start to know everybody so much that sometimes it's not that good. So you have to. There must be something different from class to class, and when that happens, usually they shouldn't just stay there waiting for me to speak, and they don't even ask questions anymore, and the class is just very boring for me and for the students.
Someone have a question?
Actually, so teacher, we are running out of time. We want to thank you for doing this interview. We want to ask you a question.
If you enjoyed the interview,
Yes, very good. Very nice interview. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for spending your time with us.
You're welcome, guys.
And thank everyone to see that and have patience for that.
So that's it. Bye.